So is it scary that Nick Fuentes could be right? Could he be correct on his whole ideology? Everything that he said, could it be true? And if it is, could we be stepping into dangerous times? Because I would say this, to start it off with, all of this whole fiasco with Israel and questioning Jewish identity and Judaism and all this, it has really started going and steamrolling based on Nick Fuentes. Everyone else has come to the party based on this man because he's been saying it for the last 8-10 years, and now everybody within the last year has come to the party. But as we saw over the weekend, not all positions are equal. There's been a head-to-head battle between him and Dan Bilzerian, and you could say that over the weekend it seems that Nick Fuentes won the day because it seems like low IQ for the party that is on Dan Bilzerian's side, what they're bringing to the table. Not really nuanced, not really clear defining what are we even talking about. It's just Israel did it. The Jews are wrong. Let's exterminate Jews for some reason. All right, but here, I'll give you a little taste of it from Dan Bilzerian's mouth.
Honestly, the only real battle in the world today that I see worth fighting is fucking, exterminating Israel. I mean, I would sign up tomorrow and go fucking put boots on the ground and go fucking kill Israelis. That would be a great day for me. I would fucking sign up on the fucking draft waiver wherever. Give me a rifle and send me the fuck over there. I truly believe that the majority of that country is evil and they're perpetuating a genocide. They've been operating apartheid. They're suppressing those Palestinians. They're attacking their neighbors. They're operating like terrorists. They're fucking arrogant, ungrateful bastards, and they need to be wiped off the fucking map.
Whoa, man. Whoa. Tell us what you really feel. That clip needs to be everywhere. Everyone needs to see that because he is a congressman. He is not a congressman, a running for Congress. He wants to be in Congress. He wants to challenge Randy Fine in Florida. I'd seen that clip and it did mess me up. Like, what? Why could you be that out in the open and saying that and not be knocked off the internet? Because it is kind of weird that like somebody like that can say that and have so many privileges, but then Nick Fuentes, he comes to it with a kind of a more subtle, more nuanced position. But he was the one that was banned from pretty much everything, and just of late he's been able to stream on Rumble. I want to get a little bit further. This is Ian Carroll's position about that. Ian Carroll says Nick Fuentes does not own the idea of America First and claims Nick is acting like a gatekeeper.
First is just Nick Fuentes. And according to Nick, he is the movement, and he's the whole movement, and no one else. And he's the leader, the cult leader, if you will, and the gatekeeper. Pretty much. And if you don't agree with Nick, if you don't get in line with Nick, you can't be America First. You're not America First. He has a monopoly on everything America First. And, fair enough. He's been running his show called America First for a long time. But let's be clear. You can have your show called America First. You cannot have the idea called America First. Sorry, bud. That ain't gonna fly. Because America First as an idea is for Americans. And you are just one of them. And the way you treat that idea feels pretty fucking sketchy and an awful lot like a gatekeeper. And anytime that anyone else comes along and threatens Nick Fuentes' fragile little ego, his fragile, super straight little ego, his reaction is always the same.
So I hear Ian Carroll, and but you can see that he's getting a little bit triggered by Nick Fuentes. I think a lot of people get triggered by him. And to me, if you've been watching anything about what I've been doing lately, I've really been analytical on Nick Fuentes. I question him at times. I enjoy listening to him. I agree with a lot of the things he says, but on the Jewish Israel stuff, that's where I don't. And you could say that is his whole shtick. That's what he's like underpinning everything, his ideology and his movement is that. I don't care. I'm not that. I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to be let's exterminate Jews. Nick's not saying that. He's not doing that. And he comes from it from a Christian perspective, in a sense, he's still claiming that. But what his viewpoint and what he's pushing can be almost more dangerous because it is so subtle. And I think that Ben Shapiro, he understood this early on, like Nostradamus-like. He saw what Nick Fuentes could become. And I actually think what he's going to become, I could definitely see in the future a presidential run of Nick Fuentes and maybe even possibly becoming the president of the United States. That is a possibility. You can see that is probably where he is going towards. That's his whole thing. He's staying out of like actually running for Congress, actually running any type of authority role in our government. He's staying out of that. He's just being a person that is on the sidelines saying his opinion. But you can see that that's what he's aiming towards. And the undercurrent of what is like rising everyone up, because the popularity is not on Israel's side. It's not on Jewish people's side. And we see that over history, we go through cycles of anti-Semitism, and then it goes away and it comes back. And I know people even immediately hearing that anti-Semitism, that's a trigger word that you cannot say. You shall not say that word. It shall not be named. The name that shall not be named. What else do you want to really call it? I mean, it's like it's talking about Jewish people, but Judaism itself is not just a culture, an ethnicity. It's a religion. It's an identity. It's different than like just being black or being white. You know, it's different that way. So it's like I've kind of backed off like saying anti-Semitism or whatever, because immediately when people hear that, they're like, I'm gonna turn it off. I can't hear nothing. That's the low IQ person saying. Which it's like, do you want to be anti-Semite or not? Like, because Nick comes at it, he's like, he doesn't want to be labeled that, but also he understands that he's being intelligent and questioning this, so he does take it as a badge of honor. So there is so much going on right here that it's not just very carefully dissected that you just think we know it perfectly and well, like in seeing it. It's like, it's not visible right up front. You have to go underneath the surface. There has to be surgery done to understand what's going on at the heart. And I would say that I'm not looking at anyone else. I can see a lot of people say a lot of the writings on the wall and understanding Nick Fuentes. I think I'm the only one that actually gets him, to be honest. I think I am the one, because there's the groypers out there that they'll just follow him wherever he goes. If he jumps off a cliff, they're going to jump off a cliff. And then there's people that immediately, I hate him. I can't stand him. Turn him off. I don't want to hear it. I can't take it anymore. No more Nick Fuentes. I think I'm the only rational, reasonable person that is able to understand who Nick Fuentes is. I can see where he's going wrong. I can see what he's got right. So I'm the best of both worlds. I can see it clearly. The people that don't come to this understanding who he is and what he's doing. He is a person that has been put there for whether good or evil. He's been put there by something. Because this is the way that things are going to go. He got this all rolling. And I think what we saw this weekend, he won the day. His ideas won the day. Because the people on the other side are just low IQ. And you can say, I'm not going to say that I'm not low IQ. I probably am, compared to Nick Fuentes, very low IQ. But it doesn't matter if you're a Moses or a Jethro. God can give wisdom to whoever he wants. And real wisdom comes from God. It's not from just, because you could say even Lucifer, the most intelligent being out there that probably God ever made, apart, you know what I'm saying? He turned to the most evil and has become Satan, what we call the devil, this evil extreme that's out there, but probably imbued with so much massive intelligence and being smart and ability to rile up the other angelic hosts that are out there and do a massive evil in this world. So it doesn't matter if you just come to it, you just like, oh, if the smart people are the good ones, they might have a better argument, but it doesn't mean they're on the right side of eternity. You can be on the right side of history and our little snapshot, I said shart, the snapshot of this world, but you might be on the wrong side of eternity. So really be thinking about this when you're analyzing and just eating up everything gobbledygook that people want to give you, that Nick Fuentes wants to give you. I can discern the gobbledygook. You know, I can discern where he's going off, and it starts at the foundational level of where he's coming from. And I've said this in previous videos. It's where he's coming from that he's arriving to these conclusions. He's able to take his logical nature and just understand what's going on and able to decipher very well. And he comes to a very stark poignant, logical conclusion, and it's very well done. Bravo. But where he's starting off with, he's running in a wrong direction from the get-go. That's what I would say about him. He's running from the wrong position. He's like the gun's been shot in the air and he's blasted off, but he's going in the wrong way. He's going in the wrong way. That's why I would say, but he's right about a lot of things. I go back and forth on certain things. He's right about a lot. That's where it's like you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's like there's some nugget of truth and reality there, but there's a lot of just because he's coming at it from a wrong foundation. That's the biggest thing, where he's coming from and how his worldview, how he is seeing everything. It comes to a wrong conclusion because he started off going the wrong way. We'll leave it at that. Smash that like button. Follow me on X and Instagram at Brandon Fogal. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm going to keep talking about it because this is the lightning rod. Out of all of them, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, he is the lightning rod at this time. There's no one else out there that is better like representing the exact period we are in as America right now. He is if you want to see where we're at as America, look at Nick Fuentes. All right, we'll leave it at that. Have a good day, everyone. See y'all.